I'm just checking in, still alive, still kicking, and getting better by the day. The doctor says that I should be fully recovered in about 5 weeks. Kidneys are starting to kick in. They're doing their thing. They have, hang on a second, let me get this. Kidneys have different functions and there's different numbers and so on, things they take into consideration that are way beyond me. But um, you know, some of them are much better, and some are getting better. So it looks like I'm gonna be okay. But yesterday I was getting dialysis, and things went south. Uh, See, when they do dialysis, it's fascinating. I got glasses problems. It's this fascinating thing where they take your blood out and they clean it for you, just like your kidneys would do. It's like having an outside kidney that's a machine, and it comes back to you. So there's two functions. One is that it cleans the blood, but it also extracts liquid. So since I've been doing so much better, the doctor says, why don't we extract 4 liters of liquid instead of 2 or 3? So, that sounded good to me. I don't know. The more the better, because your legs get swollen and everything. It's the whole thing. So they're doing it, and dialysis is a process where you can feel sort of tired. You can feel very cold. There's all these things that happen. You can also feel good. You can sort of feel like a replenishing of something. I don't know what. I don't know the science behind it, but you could feel you're getting what you need, especially if they give you a transfusion also, which they rarely do. But when they do it, that's it sounds like you're a vampire, but it's a wonderful feeling to get what your body is missing. Like when your hemoglobin goes too low, they'll give you a transfusion. And so anyway, putting aside the transfusion, I'm getting the dialysis, and it was getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and to the point where I was just like shriveled in a ball. And it's hard to really know how you're doing sometimes because you're just sleepy and the process is exhausting. But at the same time, there's something beyond sleepy and tired. There's a feeling of just terribleness where something is wrong. And I'm not sure if it's really pain so much as just a sense that something is very wrong. My blood pressure was down, so like I think it was 70/40, and I said to the nurse, I'm putting aside the fact that I'm very dizzy and nauseous. Something I just feel wrong. Something is just wrong. I'm just not right. So they immediately dump in the saline solution, and that helped a lot. Then they did it again. Oh yeah. Then they did it again, and then I felt much better. So unfortunately, they tried to take out those 4 liters or 4 kilos. I think each kilo is a liter. They only got 2 because I had to give 2 back. So whatever. It would have been nice if they just took 2 from the outset, because that was really something. And that would happen to even like to a healthy person. That could happen to anybody. It was just they were taking out of something my body did not have to give. So oddly, I'm still getting better. But that these things happen along the way with your kidneys. Your kidneys are something that you just never really appreciate till something terrible happens, and then you're like, wow, I missed that. But I'm able to urinate, thank God, a lot, because they're giving me a diuretic, again to get rid of those liquids. So I'm getting better, but the process itself is sometimes there's some little bumps. Let me see what you say here, chilling. So you get panic attacks. They go, yeah, I know, it's a terrible feeling, right? So, it's good to know that there's something they can do, right? When you get a panic attack, I guess ultimately you realize, There's nothing that bad is going to happen because I've been here before. I've had these attacks before. You know, it's like truly the case that being, you know, that the fear is itself the problem. Uh, yeah, the kidneys are recovering. They're they're much improved, getting better. It's just, you know, dialysis is mostly, you know, for people who have long-term renal failure, and it's unusual for them and it's for everybody to have a case of something that's acute, like a snake bite. Yeah, that's up Colby Mason music. No, I'm not going to new kidney, and they say about 5 more weeks and I'll be fine. It's gonna bite on her up. Yeah. So, you know, it's good in general. Taking everything into consideration, it's good. It's weird reading the things that I read, and you know, I'm not gonna start trying to refute everything because the more you try to refute it, the worse it gets. But man, the things that people make up, just straight up make up, it's just sensational. You know, it's sensationalism. It's an incredible thing. The, the creativity people can have when it comes to making up things about me. What's up, Mike Hunt? Yeah, you're a millionaire. I appreciate it. To Mike Hunt. Not like being in the hospital and you FaceTime with your friends and you do 3 in a row. You know, good people. And each one has a new criminal charge to tell you about. And it's like, what are you guys doing? Jesus Christ. Brendan. Yeah, you know, I do ignore them the best that I can. It's just it's time consuming. You have to delete, hide from user, you know, because there's so much of it. But, you know, my getting bit seems to them to be their good fortune, as if my getting bit somehow makes them a good person that is now able to judge others and, you know, say crazy things and make up just absolutely fictional accounts of everything. It's just complete fiction. Like, you should see the stories. I mean, you should see the stories. And I've had people, I've read about my own death, like, so many times. People just make up things. Like, I just died. They add all sorts of trash. It's just such nonsense. The whole thing. You know, I mean, 99% of what you're reading is just garbage. What you can do, you can't control it. You know, they can say what they want, but wow. Some of it is beyond the pale. So what's up with you guys? How you guys doing? Let's see. Look at this guy. Another nut. Let's see which one. Hey, you gotta see this guy. Day off. What is today? Wednesday. Having a Wednesday off is a wonderful thing. Something's Thursday right up against Friday. Thursday is the best day of the week. Friday's nice, but by the time you get home from work, it's like you're already tired. You know, it's like you're already sort of shot. Thursday, though, you got all of Friday intact, right next to Saturday, which is cool, but it's next to Sunday, which is okay. The thing is, though, it's right next to Monday. Then it all starts again. And you get to Monday, it's just like, forget about it. Tuesday, you think you've gotten somewhere, but you really haven't. Tuesday is the worst. Then there's Wednesday. You know, you get over past the hump and you're off. But then you get to Thursday. So we get Thursday. Thursday is the worst. Your landlord wants to inspect your apartment. I'm afraid to ask what's on the inside. Alright, you can go get him, brother. I'm afraid to ask why you have an 8-legged name. Spiders. Man, spiders scare me to death. Spiders, I've never been able to deal with spiders. But since I have no limitations on my diet, I've been ordering out. They've been bringing me some just masterful dishes, things I didn't even know existed. And trying new foods and stuff. Oh Christ, man! Why would you allow a black widow to crawl on you? Oh, that's not. No. Snakes I get. Spiders. I don't know. I can tell you stories, man. I was in my car not long ago. Spiders coming down from the mirror, and I just swerved. I'm on the highway. I just swerved. I got so scared. I almost crashed. Went into the woods. You know, it just makes me sort of panic. But I wouldn't go back in the car until I knew I had a body that I could see. No way. Oh, man. Oh, it had to be on your head, huh? No, that's terrible. And there's people in my chat group that have spiders that they just refuse to not post because they know it bothers me. And you should see this spider. The things they have. Oh, man. They have these purple, blue. I mean, the colors are kind of pretty. But, look, I try to like spiders, but it's just never going to happen. To each his own. I respect them as life. I wouldn't try to hurt one unless trying to hurt me, but there's just something about them that scares me. It may be something I was taught. You know, my dad is also scared of spiders. Maybe I got that from him. I remember when I was a kid, the spider gave birth on his wall. And he's trying to vacuum them all up. It's just, the poor guy was going through a terrible trauma trying to deal with it. And I think that I had just sort of inherited that, so to speak, as time went on. So when are you going to be out of the hospital? Not that long. Probably a few days. And I'll do dialysis for a few weeks, and then I'll be good. I'm fine. In other words, I'm fine. You can go a little stir crazy. You can be in a hospital and, and you can be fine. Like, I'm fine. I talk to the people and everything, and I'm fine. But there is just sort of a brain fog you get just from being inside the hospital for such a long time. I've been here for the 25th, and I got in on the 6th. So whatever, almost 3 weeks. And there's something that happens to your mind where you almost, you just sort of need to get out and take walks and stuff. I didn't get any confirmation on the kitties either way. And look, I get a lot of strange phone calls from people, and it's hard to know sometimes who is genuinely, legit and who's not. And there are people who contact me with sort of generalities that they act like they're specifics. They say, they'll say there's this law and that law, and they had to do this and they had to do that, but, they're speaking in absolutes. And I would much rather just have someone from a specific agency with a name call me and say, this is what happened, and attach their name to it, and to sort of take responsibility so I know who's who. Same thing with the snakes. They said they killed all the snakes. How do I know this is true? I'd like to know the name of someone who said it. I'd like to see pictures. I'd like to know who did it and go from there. And I'd like to see why. Because the reasons they give just aren't good enough, and it's just not true. Susie, bachata, needs sunshine. You do need sunshine. I have this, which is a little bit of sunshine, but I'm also sensitive. You know how I am with the migraines. I'm very sensitive to light. Like, the lights are all off here. There's a sign on my door saying to knock before you turn on the light. I'm very sensitive to light. So, yeah, though, I need to nevertheless be out there and just be in the sunshine and just to feel the outside air and just to be part of, humanity again. There's little things about being just outside the hospital that you sort of forget about. There's little things. Reptile Jack, what's up with you in Chandler's Wildlife? Nothing that I'm aware of. What the problem I had with Chandler was that people sent me videos of him smoking weed with his snakes and with Tyler's snakes, and he's holding them and he's breathing the marijuana smoke into the snake's mouth. And that's very unhealthy for a snake. And that was the problem that I had with him, but it's not my snake and it's not my place, and I said my piece on it. And, it was my opinion that is an unhealthy thing to do. But, who the hell am I? No one knew. I'm not an authority, but I'm able to express my opinion. I don't think people should do that, and I don't mind him feeling some heat for that because it's just not good for the snake. It's not even the snake. That was Tyler Nolan's snake. I don't know what the rumor could be, man. I've been in the hospital. How much trouble could I be getting in? But my friends are managing. Jesus Christ. I spoke to 3 of my friends in a row, separate people from separate parts of my life, and all 3 have a new criminal charge to tell me that. Which sucks. It just sucks. You think they know better than to do the things they're doing. None of them did anything crazy, but they're all still doing stupid things. Yeah, Susie, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Honestly, I don't even know what agency they're with. If they're with animal control, if they're cops, I don't know. Micah, how are you? Yeah, because he doesn't publish it. I still have that video on my phone. No one disputes the authenticity of the video. If I were him, I wouldn't do it either. I wouldn't mention. I'm glad that he doesn't put that up. But it happened and it's true. I posted. You can look it up. You can look up in my, whatever you call it, the video library, the playlist. Let's go. Albert Moreno. What's up, brother? How bad was the snake bite? Oh, man. It's way beyond 1 to 10. It's not like a rattlesnake bite where you're just getting necrosis and it's just pain. It's way, way, way beyond that. Oh man, if only it were just pain. It's just, I don't even know how to put it. It's just like you're undoing, it just undid me from the inside. And if you look at the bite wound, you'll see nothing. I can't even find it. It's there somewhere. But very tiny. And this is getting better. Little thing. I said little thing, but Slick on the Hub, Mr. L, we miss you in class. I miss you guys too. I'm not sure which one of you this is, and you shouldn't be on the phone. You should be in class now. I don't know why you're on the phone. Who is this? So, yeah, Albert. So, everything just starts to shut down, and you can't talk, or you can talk, but you're able to speak less and less and less and less. Then that's gone, and then everything starts to go, and you just become this big blob of just pain. And my pulse was down to something like 30 over 20. It's in the report, something like that. It's the bottom number they care about. The bottom number was 20, and it was just terrible. And then the hallucinations went on for days and days. And when you're hallucinating, you don't know you're hallucinating. So, hang on a second. For days, Kirsten, a few days. I'll need dialysis and I'll be healed in about 5 weeks, fully. For days, the nurses would come in, the doctors would come in, and then when they left, they would be in front of me in this show, like a circus. And I didn't understand, why were they not going to see other patients? They would take care of me, see ICU, and then they would, do a skit. Or they would, do these, strange things together, they were able to hit freeze. So whatever they did, they could, freeze, when you freeze a shadow, and they were able to make it do things. And they spend so much time doing that. They say hi to Gabe. And Gabe's the best. So, for days and days, I was asking him why in the world are the doctors and nurses coming and they're helping me, which I appreciate with all my heart. But why are they then in the circus? What's up with the circus? And people would answer me in the strangest ways, like, we're just doing our job. Well, you have to understand, if you're having a hallucination, you don't know you're having a hallucination. So when you say you're just doing your job, my interpretation of that is your job is to be in the circus. And you're doing the circus job, which apparently includes this. And I asked so many people, I'm like, is this a Southern thing where, you do entertainment for the patients also or something? And they're like, we're just doing our job. And I said, all right, it's just a different kind of a job than one would expect. So, on and on, it just went on, and there was one guy that came in. It turns out he was like just a nurse. But hang on a second. But I thought he was the guy running this show, like a little show. And so he walks into my room. What's his name? Schiller. Dope guy, really nice guy. Walks in, and I said, so you run the whole circus? He's like, yeah. Now, people might say that in just speaking about their job as some sort of just a funny metaphor. But I didn't mean like that. I literally meant you run the circus, the show that I'm watching every day from my bed. He didn't know that, and I didn't. It's like you don't know what's going on in each other's minds. And, it took people a while to figure out that I was having hallucinations. And even then, they weren't sure. Levi, far. Looking back, no, I'm not entertained by them one bit. How am I going to learn my Spanish now? I don't know. Who are you? Slick on the hub. So you're Gabe's friend. Am I supposed to guess? I don't know. Which one are you? Now, why aren't you doing your work? What time is it? 12:40. Are you at lunch? Because I really don't want you on the phone if you're supposed to be in class. In all seriousness. I appreciate it. I appreciate your concern, but I really don't want you to spend school time on the phone for real. Yeah, there is some writing on my glasses. What is that? I don't know. I don't know what that is. But no, there's no entertainment value whatsoever to me. Though there is some sort of. It's interesting how, this was such an extreme case and the hallucinations went away, but it makes you wonder about people who have just different realities, and you would never know. You would never know. Like when I was saying about the circus and the show, they didn't take it literally. I meant it literally. To them it was figurative, but it makes you wonder, just how different people's perceptions are. Who is this? Ilium. Oh, Zenobia. How are you, Zenobia? They haven't given you anything? I'll talk with them. Now, I don't want to mention names of anyone, but I know that Jalen. Hey, Jalen. You're doing great. And Mike Cunningham likes ice cream. Thanks. Oh, it's nice to hear from you guys. I miss you all. I miss all you guys. Very much. I think about you constantly. I don't know what to say about the work. I don't want to mention the teachers' names, but the person across the hall, my boss. Now, I know he's been given work to the sub to give to you. I don't know if the sub knows Spanish. I don't know. But I've been worried about this. And everybody, I know all the people in the school district, they're worried for you too. And it's not like it's anyone's fault but mine. I don't know how fast they can get a Spanish-speaking person. It's not like there's so many in South Carolina. And certainly to get a Spanish-speaking certified substitute or teacher, it's not easy. So everybody's in a bind here. Maybe we can do remote classes. Although that wasn't so much fun, was it? During that storm. I would do remote classes if they were actually remote classes. We could do class remotely, but not with the you won't believe what I'm looking at the TV. But not with the games and silliness. What's new in the school? Everybody okay? Everybody doing well in their classes? Everything going well? I worry about you people. Yeah, it was. Thanks, Levi. Yeah, if only. Oh, if only. It was like, if only. And it was, I have the video of the bite and look at it and like, I'm holding it. And bear in mind that I'm always holding the snakes with one hand. The other hand has the camera. They'll be playing Fortnite and saying, yes, Mr. And I'm trying to get my hand, I'm trying to work into a spot so the snake couldn't turn anymore. But I'm holding the phone, and I'm, stupidly trying to wiggle my way into a better position. And I just couldn't. I just didn't get there. And bang, it got me. But it was, it's such a small snake, a little baby. It was my first time really working with it. And, really when you think about how tiny the teeth are, the fangs are so tiny. I didn't even know I was bit when it first happened. I honestly didn't even know I was bit. And I just thought it was like a dry bite, so I just washed it off. Nothing was happening for a while. I figured I'd lie down. So I did. And then over the next couple of hours, it was like at 8, I got very dizzy. And then I realized, no, this was, an actual envenomation. And then I called an ambulance. Yeah, I got to figure out what to do with that bite video. Everybody wants to see it. I don't know. It's. I understand. I'd want to see it too, but it's a little bit disturbing that all of the people of Earth want to see me get hurt. And I don't mean that in a personal way. I don't mean that about me. I mean, just generally speaking, everybody wants to see everybody get hurt. I don't know if I want to feed that or not. I don't know. I really don't know. What are you planning for the future? My future actually looks wonderful. I've come into some astonishingly good luck. Like, I don't want to mention it in specifics, but I've been very, very fortunate. And it turns out there are some things that, I'm trying to think how to put this. There's some things that I had that I didn't know that I had. Things that I earned. I didn't win anything, but it turns out there are some things that I had that I didn't know that I had. So things that help immensely. So the future looks really good. Let me just try where we are here. Are you going to go back to Spain? Yeah. But not permanently and not soon. But I've been speaking with my friends there a lot, and it'd be nice to go and just sort of, it's a different culture there, and people don't, it's just different. So yeah, I might go there for a couple of weeks and chill in Seville. BK, but completely understandable. You'll do whatever is right for you. Well, I hope it'll be right for more than just me, but I know what you're saying. I appreciate it. Getting bit, it's like going to med school. When you get really hurt or sick, you learn so much about the human body and about the processes and all the science behind what they're up to these days in modern medicine. You learn a lot about the human body. Was Gabe your favorite student of all time? Oh, please. It's like when you get older, you learn to, like, the whole thing about favorites is just sort of silly. It's like, it's just sort of silly. It's like you can love playing baseball and then you can love playing soccer, and you ultimately realize you don't have to compare everything and say, I like this more than that. It's just not the way, at least it's not the way my mind works. But I love Gabe. But just because I love Gabe doesn't mean that I love less any of my other students. It just doesn't work that way. At least my mind doesn't. And, hold on. It's hard to describe things like that. You know what I'm saying? Would you be immune to another bite now? Well, interestingly, you might find I was bit before this, and it hurts so bad. It was a longhorn viper. Didn't tell anybody. Went to work. Didn't go to the doctor. Didn't tell anyone. And I got the same bruise, but it was like, this is not bad now, but it was like as bad as it was with this one. And it wasn't anywhere near as toxic, but it was pretty toxic. A longhorn viper, they're from Europe. It was so painful. The pain was just terrible. And did that bite help me to survive this? I don't know. Different types of venom, different types of snakes, but it's still your one type of human body, right? So maybe there's something going on there, and I built up some tolerance or resistance or something. I don't know, but some of the nurses think that I did. It's hard to know. So few people have been bitten by these snakes. Only 10 in the world were bitten by a typed. So it's hard to really know. And then to compare, who in the world is bitten by a longhorn viper and then a typed. It's hard to know what's what and what's speculation. Yeah. Adam, how you doing, buddy? I don't know why they killed my snakes. People are going to say what they're going to say about the conditions. There were some snakes that were in tubs, and many were not in tubs. And so you take Mortimer, the Death Adder. He's in his tank under his substrate, just like Chunk, just like many other ones. And they just went in, they opened it up, and they took off the heat, and they just dug in there, and they just took him, and I guess they killed him. And people blame me. Well, no. You can blame me all you want, but it doesn't change the underlying reality. Drew Light Term. I'm not trying to pronounce that. Thank you. Dakari. What's up with Dakari? I miss Dakari. Real deal Will Steele. That sounds like the name of one of my students. I don't care what they say. I'm not posting things because of what people say. Fame and money. I don't know if posting a 30-second video of getting bit will get me fame or money. And I'm not expecting either from this situation. Although I would love to have money. Fame, things were getting bad with the whole, not fame, but being recognized before this. It was hard to people recognize you as the snake guy or whatever. And, it gets to the point where it's nice, most of the people nice, but you hear, you hear yourself being mentioned, and you're just trying to buy eggs or something. And sometimes you can sort of just not be sure if you're alone chilling and there's people around, or if you're alone and there are sort of people, mentioning you. You can get a little paranoid. Not a lot, a little bit. They said they're in little Tupperware containers, except that's just not true. And I was moving. I'd only been in this place for slightly over 3 weeks, and I was still moving my snakes because doing most of the moving on weekends, and those were in bins, and then I was moving their tanks over so people could say whatever they want, but they were slowly being replaced, so I couldn't fit them all in my car at one time. But all of them had they had the water. I hydrated them on video every single day, And I do not care what people say. They weren't there. And so it's like me having an opinion of what's going on inside your living room. Well, who am I? Who am I to judge? He's fine. Is you getting to get your bobcat back? Yeah, that's a whole nother story. Let's do one story at a time. Let's do one story at a time. But he's fine. XX Teal Meloni. What's with the Dakari thing, huh? Is this a little bit of sarcasm? And why are you on your phones in school? I'd really like to know. I appreciate you checking in, but in all seriousness, why are you on your phones in school? I'm not sure what you have now. What is it, 5 to 1? Oh, you get back from lunch at 5 after 1? Maybe you're at lunch. The car, yes, is. Slick on the hub says, yo, sanity. You didn't leave us no work to do. You didn't leave us any work to do. Well, I left work as much as I could, and my supervisor left work, but, the reality is that I'm hurt, and I'm not able to give you the work, and that's the worst, most tragic part of this whole thing. And that's the part I regret the most, and I'm sorry that I'm not there for you guys. Believe me, that's what bothers me the most, and I wish I were. And I miss every one of you. How are you keeping me? I guess that sounds like an Australian president. I'm fine. You're going to utilize snake hooks now. I always use hooks. I use them just in different ways. And to me, the whole thing was never about just hooking a snake. It was about getting to know the snake. And I'm not going to change the way I am because other people think that I should. It has nothing to do with me. We haven't gotten it, Zenobia. You haven't gotten what? Oh, you did the project on Seville. Dope. Email it to me. Leave the car alone. I believe they did. They said they killed one of my snakes. But I don't know. I would like proof of that. I'd like to know who did it, like a name attached to it. And they're going to have to take responsibility for that. So, I'd like to see them prove that there was any reason whatsoever to kill the snakes. To say that they were too sick, well, that's nonsense. And what if the snake was from the wild? Would they be capable of taking a snake from the wild and giving it to someone else? Or would they not know how to do that? Would the people in the zoos be, they don't know to quarantine the animal for a while? They wouldn't know how to do that? Are you saying like the snakes were so infested with illnesses that they were just contagious and spreading? Prove it. Show me a video of the many that I posted every single day. Show me a snake that was sick. Show me the symptoms. Prove to me that the snakes were sick. Show me any indication whatsoever of unhealthiness, anything. It's too easy to make stuff up. It's too easy to just come up with these fictional accounts and ask me to disprove them. Let's stick with what is real and what's on video. My contentions, the things that I'm saying about them being healthy, you could just look at the videos. What they're saying, okay, show a video. I'd like to see evidence of any unhealthiness in any of my snakes or cats, and that is just the most unforgivable part. So much to this, and unfortunately, there are people who feel that this incident gives them carte blanche to just say or do anything in the world, and say, you're Jeff Leibowitz, you're a bad keeper. You've been neglectful. You've been using your hands with the snakes. Therefore, I hope that you die and your family suffers, and may it be painful. You should hear the things that I hear. Well, if that's true and I'm a disgrace to animal husbandry, well, You are a disgrace to humanity if you take such delight and pleasure in someone getting bit by a snake. No, my getting bit by a snake doesn't make you a good person or worthy of judgment of my situation. You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. You know what I've let you see on video, but you don't know that I'm a good keeper or a bad keeper or any kind of a keeper. And I don't care what they said. They got a call that there's a guy that got bit. There's 14 venomous snakes. What do we do? Well, first you look at the law, and it says that in South Carolina these snakes are legal, not illegal. They are legal. If the snakes are legal, and you don't have the right to just come and just kill them. You might want to find someone to just care for them temporarily, but you don't have the right to just come and kill them and then make things up because you don't know what to do, and you don't want to be dealing with that liability. So it doesn't. What it doesn't do is give you the right to just enter the whole realm of fiction and make up anything you want to justify anything you do. No, there has to be some accountability here and some sort of responsibility to the realm of the real. And I'm not sure which way we're going here. Oh, other way. Hey, let me figure out where we are here. Adam, so if you know better, post a video of you handling. So post a video, Adam, of you handling snakes and show me how it's done. And then you do better. And then we'll take it from there. Show me you doing it 5 hours a day with the most venomous snakes in the world for years. It's not a free pass to say or do whatever you want and think that you're right. No. Chick-fil-A, huh? I've come to realize I have no idea what my students are talking about. And once it is 5 after 1, you're not staying on this phone with me anymore. Chris says he's giving me a big hug. Not sure which Chris. I'm afraid to answer that because it sounds weird. On my kids. Well, I don't know any kids in my class that have kids, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. We miss you, twin. Twin, huh? Not sure what to make of that one either. But there is at least some hope that my cats are alive. And I've been getting some, people have been contacting me. I'm afraid to get my hopes up. But they may be okay. Yesterday, whenever I made that video about them having killed my cats, that's what I was told by someone who apparently was in authority, but maybe that was lied to, or maybe the person is not authentic. I don't know anymore. It's hard to find out exactly what's going on from the hospital. I've called the animal shelter a million times. I haven't heard back. And I don't know who my twin is. In any case, I guess that pretty much brings us up to speed to where we are for now. So you can hear my voice getting tired. So I think it's time to leave because the kids in my class, apparently they've been hopping on the phone, but their lunch period is going to end in 3 minutes. So I want to get off the phone now to make sure they're not spending school time here. So let me hop off. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate the well wishes. Appreciate all of you. Thanks for following the whole crazy situation. Again, I'm getting better. I'll be fully recovered in about 5 weeks, they say. and out of the hospital well before then. I'll have to get dialysis for a few weeks, but my kidneys are correcting themselves now, and it's nothing that's like terminal or anything that bad anymore. Things were terribly bad, but now much, much, much improved and not dead yet. So let me check out, and I hope everyone has a good day. Again, thank you for all of your concern. Appreciate you all.